Rare coin collecting. Discover real value and history in every coin.
And there you have it. 5 coins that prove the treasure isn't always buried. Sometimes it's sitting quietly in your change, forgotten in old drawers, or hidden in family collections. From Olympic 50-pence rarities that explode in value with the right grading, to modern W Mint quarters that collectors hunt like gold, to European mint errors and imperial gold coins climbing into the thousands. Every piece we covered today shows how condition, scarcity, and small minting details can turn a simple coin into serious money. So before you spend your next coin, look at it closely. That tiny scratch, that missing detail, that odd design, or that perfect shine could be the difference between 50 pence and 5-figure auction prices. If you enjoyed discovering these hidden treasures, make sure you stay tuned, because in our next videos, we're revealing even more coins that people walk past every day without knowing their true value. Your next rare coin might already be in your pocket. This is the first coin of our video, and we're starting with a piece that turned ordinary pocket change into one of the biggest modern treasure hunts in U.S. coin history, the 2004 D Wisconsin quarter with the extra leaf error. If you've ever wondered how a tiny detail, almost too small to notice, can create a coin worth thousands, this is the perfect example. Because this quarter didn't just slip through the mint, it slipped into collector legend. The story begins in 2004, when the U.S. Mint released the Wisconsin State Quarter. Simple idea: a cow, a wheel of cheese, and a cornstalk. Nothing rare, nothing unusual. But here's where things took a wild turn. A few sharp-eyed collectors noticed something strange. Some coins had an extra leaf on the corn. Not just one type, but 2 distinct varieties, the extra leaf low and the extra leaf high. At first, nobody believed it was real. Then the prices started exploding. The extra leaf wasn't supposed to exist. It wasn't in the design files, it wasn't in the mint plans, and yet thousands of these coins had quietly gone into circulation. That mystery created instant demand. Was it an accident? A careless die gouge? A deliberate addition by someone at the mint? To this day, nobody knows the complete truth. And that mystery is half the excitement. Now let's talk scarcity. Because the 2004 D Wisconsin extra leaf quarters were found mostly in a few states, meaning the majority of America never even had a chance to see one. Reports suggest tens of thousands, not millions, were made. And every year, more disappear into collections forever. Some get damaged, some get lost, and some get cleaned by accident, instantly destroying their value. The supply gets smaller, but the demand only grows. Metal composition is standard clad, copper core, nickel coating, which is important because clad coins show scratches easily. Finding one of these errors in high grade is a true challenge. A raw circulated example might fetch $150, $300, even $700. But in premium condition, that's where things get wild. High-grade certified examples have sold for $2,000, $4,500, and even over $8,000 when the strike is clean and the leaf detail is sharp. And both varieties, high and low, climb fast when the market heats up. But here's the part new collectors often miss. The vast majority of these coins stayed in circulation long enough to get worn down. That means mint state coins are extremely scarce compared to how many were discovered. The moment a collector finds a clean one, it's usually slabbed immediately, never to return to circulation. Over time, that locks away the best examples and leaves only lower-grade survivors floating around. Error hunters love this coin because the leaf isn't subtle. Once you know where to look, you can spot it instantly. And that, accessibility, is what made it historic. Regular people found them. Kids found them. Park attendants, cashiers, vending machine refillers, everyday people discovered an error coin worth hundreds or thousands. For many, this coin was their introduction to numismatics. Condition matters massively. A tiny scratch across the leaf can cut the value in half. A worn corn husk or dull fields can take a $2,500 coin down to a $400 one. That's why every collector flips these under bright light, looking for that perfect unbroken shine and a crisp, full strike. So if you ever get a 2004 Wisconsin quarter, slow down before spending it. Look at the corn. Tilt it under the light. Search for that tiny extra leaf, pointing low or pointing high. Because this is one of those rare moments where a simple state quarter doesn't just pay you back. It tells a story. It teaches you how errors change everything. And it might just reward you in a way your wallet will never forget. This is the second coin of our video, and this one is special because it's the only modern U.S. quarter that people were literally hunting for in real time. Like a national treasure hunt happening inside everyday pocket change. The 2020 W quarter, minted at West Point, didn't just show up quietly. It exploded into the hobby, and overnight, it became one of the most exciting chase coins of the entire decade. If you've never found one, there's a reason. The scarcity is much deeper than most people think. The hook starts with the number that shocked collectors. Only 2 million of each design were released. In a country where over 1 billion quarters circulate every year, that number is microscopic. And the U.S. Mint didn't distribute them in bags or rolls. No, they mixed them directly into circulation as a surprise, creating one of the rarest modern release strategies in American coin history. It was the first time collectors had to actually hunt them out of real change, not buy them from the mint. But what makes the 2020 W even more incredible is the timing. These were released during the early months of the COVID-19 shutdown. Many people weren't spending cash at all. Stores were closed. Banks had coin shortages. Circulation slowed dramatically. That meant far fewer 2020 W quarters moved around, and many people never even had the chance to encounter one. Coins that weren't found early stayed hidden in sealed bags, bank vaults, and untouched storage. Now add the metal composition, standard clad, which marks up easily. That means finding a clean, uncirculated 2020 W directly from circulation became extremely hard. Every scratch, every little contact mark from coin machines, every ding from handling changes the grade. And grading is everything on this coin. A lightly circulated one might bring $30 to $80, but a perfect high-grade certified example can push into $300, $600, and sometimes $1,200 plus when the population is low. Signed labels, special pedigree slabs, and early find examples have pushed into four-figure territory before. And that's just for regular W Mint coins. Errors go even higher. Speaking of errors, the 2020 W series is a hotspot. Because these coins were rushed into circulation and not handled like collector's items, several types of desirable errors appeared. Collectors have documented off-center strikes, struck-through grease errors, die cracks, doubled dies, and partial collar strikes. Depending on severity and grade, these can turn a $50 coin into a $2,000 to $4,000 prize. And the best part? Many errors are still undiscovered in circulation today, waiting for someone who bothers to look closely. The design variety also boosts demand. In 2020, 5 different designs were issued in West Point Mint Mark form, each one carrying its own scarcity profile. National Park of American Samoa, Salt River Bay, Marsh Billings Rockefeller, Tallgrass Prairie, and Weir Farm. Completing all 5 in high grade is incredibly challenging, which fuels the market even more. But the real reason these coins keep rising in value is simple. They were never meant to be saved in perfect condition. They were purposely thrown into the wild. Kids spent them. Machines scratched them. Cash registers chewed them. And every year, more are lost, damaged, or kept out of circulation forever. Collectors know the supply will never increase. The best survivors are already slabbed. The rest are wearing away slowly. And the Mint has openly said there may never be another W Mint circulation strike again, making these coins a one-time piece of modern history. So if you ever get a quarter with a tiny W above the date, stop everything. Hold it to the light. Check the fields. Look for luster. Because this isn't just a modern coin. It's a rare survivor from one of the strangest, hardest-to-find U.S. circulation issues ever released. And in the right grade or with the right error, it might just be the coin that turns your pocket change into something unforgettable. This is the third coin of our video, and if you thought the 2020 W quarter was hard to find, wait until you hear what happened with the 2019 W Lowell quarter. This coin didn't just introduce a new mint mark into circulation, it started a modern-day gold rush. For the first time in U.S. history, the West Point Mint released circulation quarters, and the very first one to hit the public was Lowell. That alone makes it special. But the real story is how unbelievably rare, clean, high-grade examples have become. The hook begins with scarcity. Only 2 million Lowell W quarters were made, a microscopic number compared to the hundreds of millions of normal D and P Mint examples. But here's the twist. The Mint didn't sell them to collectors. They threw them straight into circulation, mixed randomly into bags and rolls. No warnings, no advance notice. That sudden distribution meant that the majority of these coins began their life by bouncing through coin counters, transport bags, counting machines, and cash drawers before anyone even realized what they were. By the time collectors figured it out, many were already scratched or worn. And that's what makes this coin so competitive today. A typical circulated Lowell W might fetch $25, $40, even $80, but the flawless mint state survivors, the ones with full luster, clean fields, and crisp detail, can shoot straight into $300, $700, or even over $1,200 depending on grade. High-end certified examples in MS-67 and MS-68, especially with low populations, have pushed into the four-figure range before. The difference between a $50 coin and a $1,000 coin comes down to nothing more than condition. The design itself adds another layer of rarity. With the mill scene, multiple sharp angles, and fine architectural lines, this coin shows imperfections very easily. A single bag mark on the building, a scratch in the background, or a dull strike can drop the grade instantly. That's why clean survivors are such a big deal. They're rare simply because the design punishes any flaw. But here's where the Lowell W quarter becomes even more exciting. Minting errors. Because these coins were rushed into circulation and handled like ordinary change, several high-value errors have been discovered. Off-center strikes, struck through cloth or grease, rotated dies, die cracks through the building lines, extra metal near the windows or wheel. Any of these errors can push prices into four-figure territory. A dramatic off-center W quarter is a serious prize, the kind of find collectors brag about for years. Even minor errors draw strong interest because the W mint mark is already scarce. Another reason this coin keeps climbing is its historical importance. The 2019 W Lowell was the very first West Point quarter ever released into the wild. That alone gives it long-term premium power. It marks the beginning of a new chapter in U.S. coin collecting, the moment when the Mint gave everyday Americans a treasure hunt in their pocket change. And because it was first, collectors feel a deeper emotional connection to it. Now, let's talk survival rate. These coins weren't protected. They weren't sold in mint packaging. They were tossed into circulation during a year of heavy cash use, meaning they circulated fast and picked up damage quickly. Most people didn't know what a W mint mark meant, so they spent them without hesitation. Every year that passes, more get damaged, lost, hoarded, or thrown into machines that leave marks. Meanwhile, the best examples are already slabbed and locked away permanently. So if you ever spot a 2019 quarter with a W beside the date, don't rush. Slow down. Tilt it under bright light. Check the mill's lines, the windows, the figure, the fields. Look for luster, look for errors, and above all, look for a clean strike. Because this isn't just another state or America the Beautiful quarter. This is the first W mint circulation coin in U.S. history, and in the right grade or with the right error, it's worth far more than most people could ever imagine. This is the fourth coin of our video, and this one shows how even modern European currency can produce some of the most fascinating and valuable minting errors collectors ever chase. The 2008 Germany F Mint €2 error coin. If you thought European coins were always perfectly made, wait until you hear what went wrong in 2008. Because what started as an everyday circulation coin quietly turned into one of the most surprising modern discoveries in the Euro series. The hook begins with a mistake, a tiny one, but one that changed the market completely. In 2008, Germany updated its euro design to meet new EU requirements, which meant all new coins needed accurate borders and updated country markings. Sounds simple, right? But at the F Mint facility in Stuttgart, a batch of €2 coins slipped through with the old 15-border map of Europe, even though that design had been retired. These coins should have never left the mint. And yet they did. And once collectors realized what happened, the scramble began. This error wasn't just a slight design mismatch. It was a major minting oversight, something that shouldn't be possible in modern European production. Only a tiny number of these coins ever reached circulation, making them instantly desirable. European error coins are already rare because the mints maintain strict quality control, but a full design variety like this, that almost never happens. Now let's talk scarcity. While millions of 2008 F2 were minted, only a very small fraction carried the wrong map design. Some estimates suggest just a few thousand, and many of those went unnoticed, spent, lost, or damaged before collectors understood what they were looking at. The survival rate in top condition is even smaller. Remember, these are bimetallic coins. A nickel-brass inner core and a copper-nickel ring, meaning they scratch easily, dull quickly, and show wear after only a few days of circulation. That's why grading matters. A lightly circulated example might bring €150, €300, even €600, but a high-grade certified mint state example, that's where values start climbing fast. Premium ones have reached €1,200, €2,000, even over €4,500 in peak demand markets. Perfect strikes with clean fields and full luster always command top prices because so few were saved in time. But the real excitement comes from double errors, where the wrong map variety also shows. Off-center strikes, die cracks across the map, incomplete or weak strikes, rotation misalignments, metal flow errors. A wrong map €2 with a dramatic additional error can shoot into five-figure territory, making it one of the most valuable modern Euro mistakes ever found. And these aren't fantasy errors. Collectors and graders have documented real examples. Every tiny variation becomes magnified because the base coin is already rare. Now here's what most people forget. Euro coins circulate aggressively across Europe. They pass through borders, counting machines, transit hubs, supermarkets, tollways, and banks constantly. That means any error coin that isn't saved early gets beaten up very fast. A small nick on the outer ring or a dull patch on the center disc can cut the value sharply. That's why collectors look for strong contrast between the metals, sharp edges, and crisp detail on the map. Anything less lowers the grade. And every year, more of these error coins disappear from circulation for good. People unknowingly spend them. Banks pull worn coins and replace them. Some are kept by families who don't even know they're rare, and others simply get damaged beyond collectible quality. The number of high-grade survivors shrinks, but the number of collectors who want them keeps growing. So if you ever get a €2 from Germany dated 2008 with the F mint mark, slow down before spending it. Check the map, count the borders, look for the older design that shouldn't exist. Tilt the coin under a strong light and look for any additional error, because that's where the real money hides. This isn't just a euro coin with a mistake. It's a modern European rarity that proves even the most advanced mints in the world can create treasures without meaning to. And finding one today isn't just lucky. It's the kind of discovery collectors remember for the rest of their lives. What if I told you that a 133-year-old gold coin, minted in the final era of the German Empire, is quietly becoming one of the most respected European gold collectibles in the market? And what if I told you that this coin, the 1891 Wilhelm II 20 mark, doesn't just carry gold value, it carries historical weight, numismatic rarity, and collector demand strong enough to push auction prices into the 4- and even 5-figure range when the right condition and minting traits line up? This is not your typical bullion coin. This is a surviving witness of the German imperial era, and today it stands as the 5th rare treasure in our video. Let's step into the world of the last Kaiser of Germany, Wilhelm II. The emperor who ruled an empire rapidly moving into modernity while still decorated with old-world royal elegance. The 20-mark gold series is famous for its beauty, but the 1891 Berlin minted issue holds a special place because it was minted during a transitional period when designs, minting standards, and political landscapes were shifting, all of which influence its collectability today. Now, the first thing you notice is that bold, regal portrait of Kaiser Wilhelm II. The long, sweeping mustache, the finely detailed hair, the sharp, aristocratic facial features, all struck on 90% pure gold. Many of these coins suffered circulation wear, so sharp details on the portrait instantly boost value. Collectors want crisp hairlines, clean mustache definition, and a strong rim. Light rub can drop the grade, but a fully lustrous, nearly untouched example? That's where the magic begins. Flip the coin over and you see one of the most iconic designs of the German Empire, the imperial eagle. Wings stretched, crown raised, the shield detailed with heraldic precision. On weakly struck examples, the eagle's feathers can appear soft or flat, so a strong strike on this side plays a huge role in determining high-grade prices. And yes, this coin's Berlin Mint Mark A is important. It was the leading mint of the empire, but not all Berlin issues survived cleanly. Many were melted, many saw heavy use, and many lost their sharpness. A Berlin piece in gem condition is significantly harder to find than people assume. But here's the real turning point for value: condition and surface originality. These coins often show hairlines from cleaning, and a cleaned coin can lose hundreds or thousands instantly. A naturally aged, problem-free example with its original golden tone can bring 800 to 1,200 euros even in mid to high circulated condition. But if you take this coin into the grading world, where MS62 to MS64 examples become scarce, prices can jump dramatically. An MS63 can reach 2,000 to 3,000 euros, and MS64 can push 4,000 to 6,000 euros, and exceptionally preserved pieces with strong eye appeal have crossed 7,000 to 9,000 euros depending on market demand. And if you're thinking, Do any of these go even higher? Yes. Ultra-grade examples with exceptional luster, fully original surfaces, and perfect strike quality have shocked collectors by hitting five-figure levels, especially when combined with historical provenance or a top population grade from PCGS or NGC. Now let's talk about something collectors often overlook: minting anomalies, planchet quirks, and subtle die varieties. These 19th century gold coins were struck in a less automated environment than modern mints. Slide off-center strikes, weak rims, die polishing marks, and faint doubling around the lettering do appear. While not official errors, they add character and sometimes boost desirability for variety collectors. And yes, small die differences between early and late strikes of the year are known, giving advanced collectors even more to hunt for. The biggest misconception is that these coins are common because they're gold. Not true. Many went into wartime melt, especially during World War I, meaning a significant portion of the original 1891 mintage didn't survive. What remains today is a limited population, divided between circulated, cleaned, damaged, and only a small percentage in higher mint state grades. That's exactly why the finest survivors command such strong money. Gold value is just the floor, a safety net. What you're really buying is imperial history, artistry, rarity, and near-extinct pristine condition. So if you ever come across the 1891 Wilhelm II 20 mark from Berlin, don't just weigh it like ordinary bullion, study it like a historical artifact. Because in today's market, this coin has proven that it can comfortably sit in the 800 to 9,000 plus euro range, and the most elite specimens enter five-figure territory without hesitation. This is why it proudly takes its place as the fifth coin in our video, a gold masterpiece born in the Age of Empires, still commanding respect more than a century later.